Something happened in Ibadan on Saturday that Tinubu's government did not want to happen. 14 opposition parties sat in one room. Atiku, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, Amechi, Aregbesola, David Mark and Makinde, all of them together, and they signed one document, one presidential candidate to face Tinubu in 2027. And when APC was asked to react, their response told you everything about how worried they actually are. Now let me give you the full breakdown before I play you an important clip. On Saturday, Nigeria's opposition parties held a national summit at Government House in Ibadan, Oyo State. They were actually hosted by Governor Seyi Makinde. Now 14 parties attended: ADC, a faction of PDP, Labour Party, PRP, NNPP and others. And at the end of that summit, they issued what they called the Ibadan Declaration. 5 key resolutions that every Nigerian needs to know. 1. They will now field one single presidential candidate against Tinubu in 2027. 2. INEC Chairman Amopeto must not conduct the 2027 elections because he has shown open bias for APC. 3. The Electoral Act 2026 must be amended immediately to remove dangerous sections. 4. All opposition politicians being detained or harassed must be released immediately. 5. INEC must extend the deadline for party primaries to end of July 2026. Now, David Mark said something during that summit that captured everything perfectly. He said, no single opposition party can confront a system so entrenched. We must be united to salvage our nation. And Obasanjo added something even more powerful. He said, a government that cannot save its people should not exist. Now, Rufai Oseni touched everything: the APC reaction, the ADC angle, Obasanjo's statement, and what this all means for 2027. Please take a listen and don't forget to like this video as you're watching. Thank you.
But also we must call on the APC. It has now shown with empirical facts that the APC is also doing everything to stop the other political parties, to slide this country to a one-party state. And what are the facts? Look at the scenario where Gbajabiamila was pretty much bragging and say scattered them even more. Look at the scenario in the PDP, with Wike, that is supporting the president but is supposed to be in an opposition party to the president. Look at many other scenarios. Look at the scenario of the Labour Party. And there was a court judgment since April 2025, and that judgment was not even recognized by INEC. So when INEC is so quick to do the static quo antebellum thing, I'm asking them, what about the court judgment in the Labour Party since April 2025 that Abure should be off there, that was not taken up by INEC? That was just perfected in January 2026. So these are many things we should also call on the ruling party. Please, you see, a democracy thrives in a competitive environment. Competition is the way forward. And INEC should remember that their integrity is already tainted going into this election. You see, we are still talking about the Amopeto forensics and everything. Till today, Amopeto and INEC have not subject himself as regards his tweets to an independent forensic examination. If he doesn't do that, people will still have gray areas about him. So they think that because the news cycle forgets things, that people will not bring it up. It's a lie. It's a lie. And they think it's by bringing their report out that people have already picked holes in their forensic reports. It's not going to work until he subjects to a independent forensic evaluation as regards, does he have that account, did he tweet victory sure, and all of that. It's not their report we're going to rely on. So you see, we are saying all of this because we want there to be a transparent system in the election. Sorry, Dr. Abati. We want them to be a transparent system in the election. And in turn, it goes back to the Olusegun Obasanjo interview, that it is just a pure case of leadership. A leadership that is not able to fix insecurity should not be called a leadership. And that's just it. And I think that's what the ruling government should focus on fixing. Because if they don't fix it, there's no way forward. They've not fixed insecurity, a lot of accountability issues. He talked about the refinery. Olusegun Obasanjo said to us then that he got expert advice that if the refinery will not work, that he should sell them off as scrap. He sold them off already to a consortium that I think Dangote was also part of. But some people went to lie to Yaradua. They reversed the sale. Till today, they've been lying as regards that refinery. They lied to Yaradua it was going to work. It didn't work under Yaradua. Now it has not worked again. Maybe when they went to do the blending plant, we told them that it was failure on arrival. Till today, they've also siphoned another $3 billion. It has not still worked. So the question is, where is even the accountability for that money in the first place? We all remember how some journalists went there and say, fire is burning, the refinery is working. You can see at my back, fire is burning, refinery is working. It's not by deceiving people. We are not here to deceive people. We tell you the facts. The fact does not care about your feelings. Obasanjo just said it then. See, today is not working. So can we build a society where leadership actually works for the people? And that's the kind of environment we should build. And the ADC and the other parties saying they shall come together. It's not the time the people have been doing coalition and coming together. They did in the time of Olufalai. But have they also fixed their own internal problems? The Supreme Court has reserved judgment. We are yet to see that. Are they all going to work together? Hope they are sure amongst them that there are no moles that are even working for the ruling party. Because you see, people have so much lost morality in our political space that it is all about money. It is all about what they have to get. So they can do meetings from Ibadan to Kutuwenji if they are not ready to work together. And the most important question in the ADC, because I'm seeing the Atiku camp and the Obi camp, both of them are saying it's ours, it's ours, it's ours. In a case where Atiku emerge or Obi emerge, will the other camp concede? If they are not ready to do that, let's forget it as far as I'm concerned. So these are the hard truths I need to tell both of their supporters, because we see they are all daggers drawn now. For democracy to work, we must have viable opposition, and people must be willing to make concessions.
All right, thank you.
The major statement being put out by the opposition is that when you try to dam an environment, even dams collapse. If you try to use federal might to dam the tendencies, the expectations of the people, that dam can also collapse. The dam collapsed in 1965 in the Western region, leading to Operation Wete, which is an incendiary, combustible, response to political processes, which led to the collapse, in part, of the First Republic. And we saw a reenactment of that in 1983 when the Shagari administration tried to overreach itself. And we saw the episode, the narrative in the Dare Babarista's House of War in 1985 in Ondo State, where even the media was complicit. It's a very beautiful narrative. Those who have time can go and look for that book, House of War. It's also about politics in Nigeria. So, in other words, I'm giving all of that background to say that it is not something that the Tinubu administration should just dismiss. There may be certain currents to learn from what the opposition was trying to do in Ibadan. Now, the question to now ask is that all of this, to what effect? If you look at the opposition people who gathered, one commentator, I think it's Felix Moka, or one of the APC commentators, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, said that it was a collection of individuals, agreed individuals, not political parties. Second, it was also pointed out that all of these persons, even their parties, are in disarray. They have internal issues. Who is going to be that one candidate who is going to emerge? I had Sunday Dari, Chief Sunday Dari, I think he's from Ogbomoso, a chief from Ogbomoso, on the program, special advisor, media and information to the president, on This Day Live, the Sunday talk show, yesterday. And it was very skeptical about this assemblage of recycled failures, which is the expression that is being used by Showore. But what all of this shows us is that we need to be concerned about, the democratic process. We also need to be concerned, as they are saying, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a leader of NADECO, and that the opposition should be allowed to thrive under his watch.
Now, let me give you the key things you need to take away from everything Rufai just covered. Point 1. APC's reaction tells you everything. Felix Moka said the opposition is not a threat. Wike said it is dead on arrival. Kenyamo disputes it completely. But here's what it is interesting, because when people are truly not threatened, they ignore things. They do not rush to press conferences to call something dead on arrival, because the speed of APC's reaction tells you they are more worried than they are letting on. Point 2. The opposition is still divided underneath the unity, because we have Wike's PDP faction. They refuse to attend. They called the people who went imposters. They said Makinde had no authority to convene the summit. Point 3. Obasanjo's statement is the most, because when Obasanjo says a government should not exist, that's not a small talk. So I want to ask you, do you believe this Ibadan declaration is free unity, or will it collapse the moment they have to agree on one name? Drop your honest take in the comments. I genuinely want to know what you think. So that is the full breakdown. 14 opposition parties, one declaration, one candidate against Tinubu in 2027, and APC says it is dead on arrival. Obasanjo says a government that cannot save its people should not exist, and the real test is coming at the primary. Honestly, 2027 just got very serious. Like this video if you enjoyed this breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next update. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.